whenever someone asks me that, I just say I'm tired. So that's my answer. I'm tired. I did take a couple days off. I had good sleep the first 2 nights, and then last night I didn't sleep good. I changed hotel rooms for reasons that are hilarious, but I'm not sure I'm going to share them right now. Anyway, I'll share them. I went to Kansas City to see this girl, and things were really good for like the first like 24 and a half hours. And then she was vegan. She is vegan. So there was like a problem like with restaurants, and like I was calling places for her, like finding where there was a vegan where she could eat. And then I thought I found a place, and we went there, and then we're like, oh, it's not vegan. What the menu says is not true. So then she was like all pissy, and I was like, you know what, that's fine. I'll deal with this. Like, you know, I'm in for the journey. I kind of like the experience of like, whatever. So we go to another restaurant that she said she could go to, and then she didn't like that there was like mushrooms in the veggie burgers they were selling. This was Shake Shack. And I'm like looking at her like, what are you eating if you're not eating mushrooms as a vegan? So whatever. Then we walked like a mile and a half to Cheesecake Factory, and that's where things kind of blew up. I had a chicken parm. It was way too greasy. Some of the chicken was undercooked, but whatever. The food wasn't the problem. I have a bracelet that my ex gave me a long time ago. Like, we were together for years. Like, we almost had children together. We were engaged. Like, this is someone who's still important in my life. We still support each other in certain ways when we need each other. So there hasn't been another woman that's come close to my ex. And like, when I meet that woman, I might take the bracelet off. I have taken the bracelet off at times in the past when I thought something was serious. And I have no problem with a woman replacing the bracelet, but certainly not someone that I've been like with for like 24 and a half hours. So we're in Cheesecake Factory, whatever. And she's like, she had picked up the bracelet off of my nightstand in the hotel room, like the day before. I think was the day before. No, it was that day. It was just like, we spent almost 24 hours like straight together, so it's like, you know, like a time warp. She like picked up the bracelet off the nightstand like earlier that day, and she was like, oh, this is really nice, and like that was it. So we're at dinner at Cheesecake Factory, and mind you, she already started like little fights like a few times, so I don't know if it like turned her on, or she was like trying to like cause a rift or something, but it was like these little things. Like when we went to that restaurant that said they had vegan options, like the first one, we were sitting there. I'll get back to Cheesecake Factory, don't worry. But we're sitting there, and like I ordered chicken wings. I was like really hungry. Like I wasn't too hungry, but like once we got to the restaurant, I was hungry. We went to eat because she said she was really hungry. Like I was good drinking hot chocolate in Barnes and Nobles and reading a magazine. She's like, I gotta eat, like this little child. So whatever. I found her a restaurant. Turns out they didn't have vegan stuff, but like I had already ordered my chicken wings, so like they were coming. I wasn't gonna be an a-hole and like order what I wanted more food than that because I was hungry. I wasn't gonna be an a-hole though and order that food. But while I'm eating my chicken wings, she's sitting there like this like grumpy little child, like staring at the wall. Like she's an invalid. It was like really ridiculous, and like so mad and like seething. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know, like, why are you acting like this? And she's like, it's not you. It's just Kansas City. I just hate this place. And like, you know, like they can't have a restaurant that serves vegan food. I'm like, you're the one that lives here. Like you're the one that lives in Kansas City. Like you didn't come visit me in Kansas City. I don't live in Kansas City. So anyway, that was funny. So I didn't order anything else. I even talked to the manager and like the head waiter to see like if there was anything we could do for her, and there was, but she like refused to have it, of course, because she just wanted everything her way. Like there was a veggie burger there, but she refused to have it because she's like, they don't know what they're talking about, whatever, blah 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 blah. So we um, so we left. We went to Shake Shack where she said she could eat mushrooms in the burger. She doesn't like those. So then I took her to Cheesecake Factory, and she's like happy because she's been there before and just does a veggie burger. So I'm eating my crappy chicken parm hero that's undercooked, and she's eating her veggie burger. And she goes, "Oh, so what's the deal with the with your bracelet? Who got you the bracelet?" And I was like, "My ex got me the bracelet like a long time ago, you know." And she's like, "Oh, I can't believe you would wear something your ex gave you on a date. I thought you cared about me." And I'm like, this is like just the very beginning of the blow up. And she just goes on and on about how I don't care about her, and I wore a bracelet that my ex gave me on a date. And it's like, listen, I wear this thing every single day of my life, and I'm not taking it off just because some girl I met is like offended by it. Some girl I just met is offended by it. If we're together for a few months, like, maybe we'll talk about it. But so that happens, and then she just keeps on going off, and I was like, you know what? Have fun. I got up. I was like, you want me to pay for your meal? She's like, no, I got it. So I get up and I leave, and I don't have like a car in Kansas City yet. Obviously, I didn't rent a car. I didn't need to. So I'm like ordering up an Uber, and as I'm waiting for the Uber, she like gets up from the table and she paid whatever for her food, and she like comes up behind me, and then she gets in the Uber with me. I really didn't want her to come back to my hotel with me at all. I was completely done with it. I just wanted to like chill in the Uber, like just relax. But the journey continued. We get back to the hotel. She's like bickering at me in the lobby. And I'm like, listen, the lobby clerk is like staring at us. I'm really not good with that. So we went up to my room. She bickers at me some more. It's like the same old shit about like how I don't care about her and shit like that. I was like, I took you to 3 restaurants to satisfy your vegan needs. Obviously I care, right? To some extent. But this is getting ridiculous. I have to go to bed. She's like, no, come to my apartment, and we'll talk this through more. And I was like, you know what? No, I need sleep. I need rest. I'm exhausted, like bone tired. So I walked her downstairs. She ordered her own Uber, and I waited like 20 freaking minutes, like, and she's like staring at the wall like an invalid again. She gets in the Uber, and that's pretty much it. We are in the middle of America right now. We are, I think, 75, 80 miles away from St. Louis, Missouri. way to the middle, well, like south central Tennessee, I guess you could say, which is a funny way to say it, but it's true. We're on our way to south central Tennessee. After that, we're on our way to Nashville, and then back to south central Tennessee. And then after that, we're going to Ohio. So sometime on Monday morning, I should be in Ohio. We are now about 75 miles due west of St. Louis. And we are rolling pretty hard. I was vibing pretty hard with some awesome music, and I had got over like a tiredness rut. I guess like there's like periods where I get like tired on the truck, and then there's periods where I get really tired on the truck. The periods where I get really tired on the truck, I have to go to sleep and I take a nap. The periods where I'm just tired, like it's just like, I don't know how else to say it, like I'm just tired, like I just can't really do my job. What I usually do during those periods is stop for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes or more and kind of reset myself, eat some food, like listen to a book, write, make a phone call, look at Instagram, just like really just kind of like just reset. And however long it takes me is however long it takes me. Like I don't have a time limit on my tiny little resets. And then that recharges me and I'm able to get back on the road and drive for another few hours. But if I'm very tired, I just take a nap. Wherever I am, I just take a nap. And that's the beautiful thing about being really tired on the truck is like, if I had to, I could sleep anywhere. Like I could get out of the truck and like sleep on like some dirt or some concrete or whatever. I don't have to do that because I have a bed in the back, but I'm that tired. Like a lot of the time on the truck, I am bone tired. I have never been as tired as I've been on the truck in any other point in my life. And I've done some abnormal things, but I've never been as tired as I am on the truck. There you go. There's the truck horn for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't come up hard on me like that, dude. What's up? Good evening. It's a little windy right now. otherwise, all is well. Roads are clean and clear. The weather looks amazing. The weather in Kansas City earlier, it looked like the sky was about to open up and hell was about to rain down upon the city. But I am clear of KC, so I'm not worried about whatever weather's going to happen there tonight. I am not worried about that. Where's everyone watching from? I know, like, I recognize the viewers that have become somewhat regular to the channel by not by your names, but by where you're watching from. So let me know where you're watching from, and then I think I'll probably recognize you. The names are hard to remember for me because it's hard to look at the name. I'd rather a lot of the names are seem skewed while I'm driving. It's much easier to read just the regular chat. I think you guys probably know what I mean. So we are headed to St. Louis right now, and then we are headed to South Central Tennessee, and then Nashville, and then South Central Tennessee again, and then somewhere in Ohio. That's a few trips from now. That's 3 trips from now, so I'm not exactly sure where in Ohio. I'm more concerned about where I'm headed tonight and where I'm headed tomorrow. 69 miles an hour. That is 69, not 96. Don't get it mistaken. This is what 69 miles an hour looks like in a semi. We are on the I-70 going eastbound, headed directly into St. Louis. This guy's kind of wiggling around the road. He's making me nervous. He is a food truck. He is a food delivery guy. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you what he is. He works for Sigma, so he delivers to like restaurants. That's one of the harder trucking jobs. It is like, so he goes home every night, so that's cool. I mean, some of them are out for a couple days, but they're generally home every night. They're really hard. They can be really hard on your body, especially if you're not in shape, because they have to move thousands of pounds of food on their own every shift, out of the truck and into the restaurants that they deliver to. Some of those, I've never had one of those jobs. Some of those jobs consist, like some of those jobs, you literally have to take the food out of the truck, you know, put it on a like a pallet jack or whatever. I've never done anything like that, but put it on a pallet jack or whatever, bring it into the restaurant, and some of them actually have to stack the food in like the cold space or the dry storage spaces in the restaurant. So it can be back-breaking work, quite literally. They do pay well, though. For jobs where you get to go home every day, delivering food to restaurants out of a semi-truck is one of the higher-paying trucking jobs. But like I said, it's back-breaking. And you do have to be good at backing your truck, because you have to get into some tight spots, because, you know, restaurants aren't really usually truck friendly unless they're like in a mall or something like that. If I had to like pay some bills, provide for my family, etc., and that was the only thing no, not the only thing, I should say, and I needed to make like a really good amount of money, I would think about doing food delivery to restaurants. That would definitely be on my list. As well as waste management drivers, like garbage truck drivers. They make good money generally, because of the overtime they get. There's that job from the people I know that have done it or do it, that job sucks. I'm talking about garbage truck drivers, and I'm not even talking about. Well, I guess I'm including the fact that it's dirty, smelly work, but there's a lot of oversight. There's cameras. There's inward-facing cameras. There's cameras and bells and whistles all over the freaking trucks. If they supposedly, I've never been a garbage truck driver, right? But supposedly, if they like touch their phone, like go to read their phone, etc., like they're fired, and like there's a lot of strict rules regarding those drivers. But at the same time, you have to realize that they just can't fire everyone. So it's probably not as bad as that. Like, especially if you have a good driver, you're just not going to be like, oh, you're fired because you touched your phone. Like, that's never really going to happen unless the manager is an invalid moron. You just can't fire your good workers for what I deem like a minor infraction. Like, anyone who does their job well knows they can get away with a lot, especially if the other people that work at a company aren't as good or efficient as they are. There's a cop here on the right. Friday, right? Yeah, it is Friday night and we are rolling hard. We really are rolling hard tonight. I mean, what else can I do? The weather is freaking perfect. These are perfect conditions right now. For early December, you cannot get more perfect than this. The road is dry, the sky is clear, visibility is good. It's like crisp and cool outside. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Ooh, right up here on the overpass, there's a semi-truck being towed. I know you can see that. That is a semi-truck being towed right up there. Construction zone right now. So many freaking construction zones all over America. Sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're really janky. The jankier the jankier the construction zone, the more dangerous it is to drive through. because you don't know, like, there's going to be, like, multiple holes in the pavement or, like, rigid lines that might throw your truck from one lane to another.